Welcome back to Horror Recaps. My name is Freddie, and in a moment, you're going to listen to a frightening tale narrated by me. Beware, fear awaits you. In the bustling city of New York, we're introduced to Laura, a woman anxiously awaiting her date, Reggie, at a local bar. She's been talking to him online and has decided to finally meet him, but Laura is also worried because Reggie has not arrived yet. Not long after, Reggie gives her a call and expresses his apologies, stating that he is currently on the way and will arrive soon. The two then start conversing, and Reggie asks her what she does. In response, Laura tells him that she's a film professor who teaches about movies in the slasher genre. Now, for some reason, Reggie encourages her to step outside the bar, and Laura complies while still maintaining her phone call with him. She then navigates her way into a dimly lit, confined alley. Just then, Reggie mocks her for being afraid of a horror movie cliche of strolling down a dark alley. But suddenly, when Laura turns around, she is faced with Ghostface standing in front of her, who then brutally stabs her multiple times. And once she's dead, the man removes his mask and reveals himself to be Laura's student, Jason Carvey. Afterwards, Jason quickly changes into his regular clothes and heads off. On his way, he happens to spot Tara, a fellow classmate, who's on her way to a fraternity party. Tara asks Jason if he and Greg are planning to attend the party as well, to which Jason explains that he will join them once he completes his project work. Curious about Tara's sister, Sam, Jason asks how she is doing, and Tara informs him that Sam doesn't really enjoy such gatherings. Moments later, Jason arrives at his dorm and calls out for his roommate, Greg, but gets no response. But shortly after, he receives a phone call from Greg who, mimicking Ghostface's voice, inquires about the murder. However, Jason urges Greg to deactivate the voice changer and casually explains how he killed Laura. In the meantime, we see that Jason and Greg have a small shrine dedicated to Ghostface and the Stab movies. The two friends discuss their plan to kill Tara and her sister, Sam, as part of their project. But their conversation takes a suspicious turn when the voice tells Jason to open the refrigerator. Jason does as instructed, but he's horrified to discover Greg's mutilated body inside. And suddenly, the Ghostface attacks Jason from behind and digs him to his death. In the next scene, we see Sam in a therapy session with Dr. Christopher Stone. When the doctor asks Sam about her past, she reveals that her father was the original Ghostface serial killer who was active around 25 years ago. Furthermore, Sam reveals that her last boyfriend, Richie, was also a serial killer who tried to hurt her and Tara, so she had to stab him 22 times. As a result, she's become an outcast on the internet, being falsely labeled as the serial killer responsible for Richie's death. Now, Dr. Stone is shocked by this revelation and abruptly ends their session. However, this irritates Sam on a deeper level, and she walks away, claiming that no one truly understands her. Later, Sam arrives at her apartment and discovers that Tara is not there. Upon inquiring her roommate, Quinn reveals that Tara has gone to a frat party. Filled with concern, Sam becomes anxious and decides to go to the party herself, bringing a taser gun along to ensure Tara's protection. Meanwhile, at the party, we're introduced to Tara's friends, Mindy, Chad, Anika, and Ethan. Just then, Tara meets an intoxicated boy named Frankie and decides to hook up with him. However, her friends are quite protective of her being with strangers, so they try to stop her. But when Frankie refuses to let her go, he and Chad get into a fight. Moments later, Sam also arrives and tases Frankie for bothering her sister. Tara gets angry at Sam for being intrusive in her life and walks away angrily. Meanwhile, outside the party, a gang of ladies harasses them, throwing a drink at Sam and calling her a murderer. Now, when they get home, Quinn consoles Tara by telling her that she had a brother who died. After this incident, her cop father got overprotective of her, and when she moved to New York, he also transferred to NYPD to be closer to her. After Quinn leaves, Chad shows up and Tara thanks him for not letting her go with Frankie. Chad then indicates that he has feelings for her and they almost kiss, but Quinn returns and accidentally interrupts the moment. Elsewhere, we see Sam hooking up with her neighbor Danny, and it turns out that they've been dating for a few months. However, she's kept the affair secret so that no one will slander him because of her reputation. Afterward, Sam sees the news about the murder of Jason and Greg on television, so her first impulse is to take her sister and flee the city. Tara, on the other hand, is displeased since she wants to be at college and have a normal life. Just then, Quinn's father, Detective Wayne, summons Sam to the station as a suspect because Sam's ID card has been found at the crime scene. On the way to the police station, Sam receives a phone call from Richie's number, and when she responds, Ghostface asks her to thank him for killing Jason and Greg, who were plotting to kill her. When she asks why he's protecting them, he reveals that he wants to kill her himself and expose her true face to everyone. Just then, Ghostface attacks Tara, but Sam knocks him away, and the sisters flee inside a store. He quickly follows and murders 2 customers there. The manager tries to shoot him with a shotgun, but he stabs him and shoots him dead. He then tries to attack the girls, but soon the police arrive, so he flees through the back door, leaving his mask behind. Following this, Sam and Tara are taken to the station to meet Wayne. At first, Detective Wayne assumes the sisters are murderers, but Sam claims she was in therapy at the time of the killing and Tara was at the party. In the middle of their questioning, an FBI agent arrives, who turns out to be the 2011 Ghostface survivor, Kirby Reed. Immediately, Sam and Tara recognize Kirby since she was their senior in high school, and the two gain some trust in the investigation. However, Wayne is a bit skeptical of Kirby's motives. Now, when the sisters leave the building, the media begin bombarding them with questions. They also meet the reporter named Gail Weathers, whom Sam and Tara dislike, because a while back she wrote a book on their incident and called Sam unstable and a born killer. Tara then punches her and blames her for the hatred Sam is receiving from everyone. Hearing this, Gail tries to justify herself for writing the book, but the sisters dismiss her claims and leave. On the other hand, Dr. Stone is at home when suddenly he hears a knock on the door, and when he goes to answer, he encounters Ghostface. Immediately, the Ghostface crushes his skull against the bars, before slashing him in the face through the glass in the door. He then breaks into the house and grabs the patient file of Sam. Around the same time, Tara's friends are trying to identify the murderer. Mindy explains that the killer is acting shockingly similar to the Stab 2 movie. Since Tara, Sam, Chad, and Mindy have all moved to New York together from their hometown, she thinks that the killer may be newcomers like Anika, Quinn, or Ethan. Now, Mindy confronts Ethan and Quinn about whether they came to the college on purpose to murder them. However, Ethan and Quinn believe that the culprits could be Sam and Tara since they have murdered Richie before. That evening, the group decides to stay in the apartment together for safety, and later they watch the news about Dr. Stone's murder, where Sam is named as the main suspect. Seeing this, Sam expresses to Tara how difficult it is for her to be treated with such hatred. But Chad and Mindy intervene to express how much they all adore her. Meanwhile, Ghostface storms inside Quinn's room, which Danny notices from across the way. He tries to call Sam, but she does not answer. Now, Ghostface brutally murders Quinn and then attacks the rest of the gang. Everyone flees for their lives, and Sam heads to the kitchen to find the weapon. However, to her surprise, all of the knives are gone. The killer then stabs Mindy in the shoulder and Anika in the stomach, nearly killing her. But just then, Sam strikes him with a knife holder. Meanwhile, as Chad and Tara leave the apartment, the others are trapped inside, but fortunately, Danny pushes a ladder through the window to help them, and with his help, everyone else manages to escape the scene. But tragically, Anika dies while crossing through. In the next scene, the cops arrive and shut their flat close. Wayne is horrified to see his own daughter killed, and his department dismisses him from the investigation since there is a personal attachment. However, Wayne refuses to back down and tells Sam that he's now determined to bring Ghostface down at any cost. Just then, Sam informs him that someone took all of the knives before the attack, implying that the Ghostface is someone close to them. In this case, they have doubts about Ethan because he was not with them the night before. However, Ethan swears that he was in the library. Just then, Gail appears with a truce and offers whatever help she can. Afterward, Gail takes the group to a venue that Jason and Greg had rented out. It's a museum in an abandoned movie theater devoted to the past Ghostface killers. It is filled with the costumes worn by each of the Ghostfaces and also the weapons they used for their murders. Furthermore, various critical pieces of evidence and remembrance of the victims are also placed there. The gang then sets up a plan to trace Ghostface's phone call. Soon after, he contacts Sam again and calls her behavior childish, claiming that he knows he's being traced. With this interaction, Kirby gets the location, which happens to be Gail's apartment, implying that the killer is targeting her. Elsewhere, while Gail is with her boyfriend, Ghostface calls her and informs her he is going to kill her. He soon murders her boyfriend and then tosses his body through the class. Then, he gravely injures Gail, but before he can finish her off, Sam and Tara come and shoot at him, scaring him away. And seconds later, Gail passes out as doctors come and take her away. At this point, the girls are unwilling to play by Ghostface's rules any longer, so Sam and Tara decide to set up a trap for the killer at the theater shrine. However, the group becomes divided on the way there, with Sam, Tara, and Chad remaining together while Mindy and Ethan catch the next train. Soon after that, while Mindy is on the train, the Ghostface attacks her and brutally digs her twice, and after he leaves, Ethan pulls her out and has subway employees help Mindy. Finally, Sam, Tara, and Chad enter the abandoned theater and meet with Kirby. And with all of them inside, Kirby locks the doors and declares that this hall has become a death trap, since the killer will be unable to escape from there. Just then, Sam requests a weapon to defend herself and the crew, but Kirby says that the gun will only be with her. Just then, Sam experiences a vision of her father, who warns her not to trust anybody and to protect herself. She then takes her father's knife from the showcase while they wait for Ghostface. Sam receives a call from Wayne, who informs her that Kirby is mentally ill and was fired from the FBI months ago. Sam believes Kirby is Ghostface and flees with Tara and Chad, and within minutes a Ghostface appears to attack them. Chad fights him off, but then a second Ghostface comes out to help the other by repeatedly stabbing Chad. Now, while Sam and Tara try to escape, Kirby shows up with a gun. Tara accuses her of being the murderer, but Kirby doesn't understand her. Just then, Wayne shows up and shoots Kirby, revealing himself as a third Ghostface. The other two Ghostfaces are his daughter, Quinn, and his son, Ethan. At this point, Wayne reveals that he is the father of Richie. Ever since Sam killed Richie to save her sister, Wayne and his family have been scheming revenge on the sisters. The shrine devoted to Ghostface was really made up of objects belonging to Richie, who used to collect with the help of his cop father. They now want to avenge Richie's death and blame Sam for everything. However, the sisters flee to the balcony for their life, but Tara collapses and is lashed out by Ethan. Tara tells Sam to let her go, so Sam hands her the knife before dropping her. Tara then stabs Ethan in the mouth and twists the knife. When Sam mocks Quinn for losing another psycho brother, Quinn goes after her and is shot in the head. Now, Wayne is outraged after losing all of his children, but Sam is out of shots to finish him off. They then charge at each other and end up falling over the balcony. Later, when Wayne regains consciousness, Sam is nowhere to be seen. Then he gets a call from Sam's number, but it's Ghostface's voice on the other end. Just then, Sam shows up wearing her father's mask and cloak. She then mercilessly stabs Wayne all over his body and eventually jams her knife into his eye. Moments later, Ethan reappears at the scene, but Kirby kills him by smashing the television set over his head. In the next scene, Danny arrives with the cops, and everyone is eventually rescued. Sam then decides to let Tara live her life more independently, and Tara agrees to go to therapy. After they arrive outside, Tara cries as she remembers Chad, but it turns out that he has survived as well and is carried out by paramedics. In the final scene, Sam looks down at her father's mask, fighting to separate herself from the darkness within her. She then throws it into the street before joining Tara on their walk back into town. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching.